Let's get started. So what are we going to talk about here today? We are going to talk about the gold mine hiding in your customer relationships. Um, this is an important topic, today, especially today. So let me just start off by saying that, all of us, are busy for them. I would imagine that everybody that is on this webinar is busy, like very busy, busier than you've ever been. And I hope that's the case. And I hope you're making more money than you've ever made. If not, and that's a separate conversation. If not, that's a problem that needs to be resolved, because if you can't make money in this environment, then it's going to be very, very difficult to ever really make money. But what's interesting about what's going on, as we sit here in August of 2021, is leads are plentiful, at least for most everybody I talk to. Leads don't seem to be an issue. Now, for as long as I've been doing this, leads have always been the primary thing. Everybody's always about leads, leads, leads. Well, this year and a lot of last year too, wasn't so much about leads. It was really more about other issues. But here's what's going to happen at some point. All right. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I just have experience, right? Many, many years of experience. And where we are right now is good. People are buying, but it can't last. This is not sustainable. Now, will it go off a cliff like it did in 08, 09, and 10? No, I don't think so, because the fundamentals behind what's going on are good. However, there will be some sort of normalization, whatever that looks like. I just personally think, and talking with some of my clients, what I think is going to happen is leads are going to start to slow down. Again, not going to go off a cliff, but they're going to slow down. When leads slow down, there'll be a period of, well, it'll be okay because you're working on backlog and, stuff that's in the pipeline. But what's going to happen then is that as leads become less, even if it's 5% less, what happens to now lead cost? Well, lead costs start to go up. People that were just, my friend Tony Hody, we did a podcast episode a few weeks back about the fish jumping in the boat. Well, you don't have to be a great marketer right now, because the fish are jumping in the boat. However, again, when things normalize and lead costs start to go up because there are less leads out there, now you're going to have to become a good marketer. And there's good news to this and there's bad news, just like with anything, like the bad news is, for some people, it's going to wipe out their business. For some people, that's going to be good news, because now you got less competition, there's less people in the marketplace. And so those companies that have good processes in place, that have good people in place, that have a good profit model in place, those people are really going to win. Now, one of the things that when we look at the business as a whole, when we think about, all right, what makes for a successful business, one of the things that we've really got to look at is, what is our relationship with our customers, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So when I do live presentations, I mean, if we were live, I'd be looking at you and I would ask you, right? I've got 5 leads. I've got an internet lead, I've got a repeat customer lead, I've got a TV lead, I've got a referral lead, and I've got a newspaper lead, right? I'm your sales manager. You're going to go run a lead. Which lead do you want first? Right? You can put it in the chat box, actually. Go into the chat. Let's make this a little interactive because, quite frankly, all I see is me. I don't see any of you out there. But which lead do you want first? Now, me, I want the repeat customer first, right? I want the repeat customer first. That's my number one. If I can't get the repeat customer, I want the referral. Well, why? Well, because both of these have certain things in common. One is repeat customer, they're already know you. They should already like you. They should already trust you. So they're going to be easier to close. There's going to be less price resistance. And you've already absorbed the lead cost. Now with a referral, it's very similar. You're coming, the lead is coming to you with a seal of approval, if you will, right? So a friend is telling a friend, hey, if you're going to get your insulation done, this is the place to do it, right? These are the people you want to go with. And so again, they're going to be a little bit easier to close. There's going to be less price resistance. And to some degree, you've already absorbed that lead cost, right? So these are like number one and number two when it comes to leads. Look, all leads are not created equal, okay? It's, when it comes to repeat referral versus internet versus TV, a repeat and a referral lead is going to be much better. So then the question becomes, so doesn't it make sense to focus just a little bit of time, energy, and money to get more of these leads, right? And yet, this is mostly ignored by most companies, right? Most companies rely on this happening organically rather than proactively stimulating repeat customer leads and referral leads. This is seen as an unnecessary cost rather than a wise investment. And most companies just keep pouring more and more money into what we call the top of the funnel, right? And so the opportunity here is, how do we create more of our business from repeat and referral through relationships, so that we don't always, we're not relying 100% on Google, on TV, on newspaper, whatever you're using today to generate leads. Because again, at some point, those leads are going to slow down a little bit. And so when they do, right, we want to be able to at least have this base of business that we can rely on. So I say it all the time, today's customer is tomorrow's sale, right? So to me, again, we do this, and I'll give you a little bit of my bio in just a minute, but 25 to 35% when you're in the replacement space or in the remodeling space should be kind of the minimum of where you want to be, right? Now, if you do this right, here's you have huge opportunities. When you drive more of your business from your relationships with your customers, your overall lead costs will come down. Your profitability goes up. Your business and brand value, the equity in your business goes up. Think about it, right? If you were thinking about selling your business, and today, 90 to 95% of your business is entirely reliant on Google or Facebook, or again, whatever you use to generate leads, the value of your business is going to be a little, less. compared to somebody who's getting a third of their business through repeat and referral. Why? Because that has a bigger value than an internet lead. And, more importantly, your long-term business security goes up. Again, for the same reason, because if I know that I've created a system where a third of my business is going to come from my relationships with my customers, I've got a much more stable and secure business. I mean, look, if you go back and you look at 2008, 2009, 2010, the companies that survived, and again, we're talking about different things here, but it's an extreme example that we can learn from. The companies that survived were the ones that had relationships with their customers, because what happened was they went back to their customers when everything else dried up. They went back to their customers, and their customers helped keep them alive until business turned back again around 2011, 2012, right? So this industry is notorious for one and done. Look, we did the job, and we're done. We're on to the next one. If they need us, they know how to get a hold of us. But that, to me, especially in this day and age, is a horrible way to do business, especially if you want to make money. If you want to create a business that works for you and works for your family and works for your team to create real wealth. Okay. So why is this so important now? Again, lead costs are going up. Most of you are busier than ever. This is a big opportunity, right? As you are bringing in more and more customers, you're growing your base. When you grow your base, right? And if you do it right, which I'm going to show you how to do in this webinar, that's going to give you a huge advantage over your competition, because look, competition's intensifying. It's not going down today, it's going up. Now, where you also are going to get an added benefit by doing these things is reviews. Reviews are critical to your success today. And more profit margins are harder to attain and maintain. And without this in place, you'll continue to struggle to maximize profitability. Notice I said maximize profitability. Okay, we're not in business to just get by. We're in business to do what we can to maximize our profitability, right? So who am I and why the hell should you listen to me? My name is Brian Kaskavalciyan, for those of you that don't know me. I run a company, well, I don't run it anymore, actually, but I have a company called G4 Marketing Group. And at G4 Marketing Group, we work with some of the top home improvement companies in the country. We work behind the scenes. We are their relationship marketing team. What that means is that when they complete a project, when they complete a job, it then becomes our job to go to that customer and say thank you and get reviews and get referrals and generate repeat business. Our clients collectively in the last 12 months or so have completed over 100,000 jobs. And that's, somewhere between 750 and 900 million in revenue. The reason I tell you that is because I'm very fortunate in that I get to be behind the scenes of a lot of these companies, and I understand that how they operate and how they function. Now, let me go back a slide. How come I can't go back a slide? I want to go back. There we go. So the other thing that we also do here is we have a company called The Wealthy Contractor, and we've got the Wealthy Contractor podcast. And for those of, you guys are Pro Materials Direct, I think all of you know Terry Ferraro, and I believe Terry is with us here today. Terry was a guest on the podcast. I want to have him back because I think Terry is just, you guys being in Terry's group is very, very smart. I think he's one of the smartest guys in the home improvement business. I think he's also, if you look at if you look at his background and you look at his track record, he's also one of the most successful people in this industry. But what we do at the Wealthy Contractors, we learn from people like Terry. So we've got the podcast, we do events. I wrote a book called The 7 Secrets to Becoming a Wealthy Contractor. That's really where I focus most of my time today. So that's a little bit about me and my background. By the way, I come from the home improvement industry. I've had home improvement companies in the past. I'm not a marketing guy that found the home improvement industry. I'm a guy from the home improvement industry that was just really good at marketing and started a marketing company. And our focus, again, is on creating those relationships. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that we have found to work in doing this. And hopefully that will be a ton of value for you. So let's be clear about marketing. Marketing is not only about lead generation. You know, people think that marketing is just advertising. It's not. To me, marketing is also your customer service, your entire customer experience process from the minute somebody engages with your company all the way through to the end and beyond. That customer experience is also marketing. Within that, you've got how you answer the phone, how your people show up to sales appointments, how your installers treat the customers in the home, the value that you bring. And the value comes from the solutions that you provide, right? The peace of mind that you provide to your customer, and your reputation. You know, what reviews say about you online, that's marketing, right? And so to me, marketing is everything we do to create, keep, and multiply customers, okay? Create, keep, and multiply customers. This is the business. They are the business, customer. We're all in the customer business. Now, too many people ignore or neglect or forget the keep and multiply part. Because look, it's not sexy. Okay, I get it. It's not sexy. Front end lead generation, that's sexy, right? But it's critically important, critically important. Now, the foundation. So let's talk about what the foundation of all of this is. In order to effectively and profitably create customers, keep customers, and multiply customers, you have to have a process in place for turning ordinary customers into raving fans. You can't settle for anything less. But I say it all of the time. In today's world, a satisfied customer is a liability. It's a liability. And just real quickly, the reason I say that is because if your system, your customer experience system, is set up to create merely a satisfied customer, it's very easy to get a customer that goes the other way. Very easy, right? And also, who's more likely to leave a 5-star review for you on Google? A satisfied customer or a raving fan? Who's more likely to make a referral? A satisfied customer or a raving fan? Who is more likely to come back and give you more money? A satisfied customer or a raving fan? Okay, from my experience, it's raving fans. Satisfied customers don't do much. They don't do much. Okay. Now, my mentor is a man named Dan Kennedy. And I learned a long time ago from Dan, the only asset that can be kept safe from every threat and made to appreciate in value year after year is the relationship you have with your customer. And from my experience, 30 plus years of experience, that's absolutely true. Okay. So here's how to create and attract more repeat customers, and referral leads. Now here, of course, we have a process. We have a proven process. It's what we call the 4 pillars of relationship marketing, right? And I'm going to go through these pillars with you so that you see and understand how these work. And by the way, these all work together. I believe everything that we do has to take a holistic approach. We can't just do a little piece here and a little piece there. We have to think of the whole, okay? Now you'll notice here in our pillars that the foundation, again, is the customer experience. Bad customer experience makes all of this stuff not workable, okay? The foundation, if you don't have a great customer experience, none of this other stuff is going to work for you, okay? So the number one rule when it comes to reviews, referrals, repeat business is you have to earn the right to a 5-star Google review. You have to earn the right to a referral. You have to earn the right to repeat business, people coming back and buying from you again. And again, this starts with the customer experience. Nothing else matters until you get this right. Again, because a bad customer experience ruins everything else, right? Now, by the way, the reason I've got Walt here is because Walt was an absolute master at this. Probably the best ever. I don't think there's anybody that can top Walt. And so there's a lot to learn from him. Okay. I don't make this stuff up, by the way. I go and I learn from others, and then I bring it in and I, either, send out the information in presentations like this, do it for our clients, right? So there's never been a time when customer experience was as critical to your success as it is today, because customer experience will drive more referrals, more word of mouth, more repeat business, premium pricing, more online reviews. Now, when we look at when you provide your customer great experience, what we want to do next, okay, so we've gone through the process. They've called in, you've set the lead, right? You've created an appointment. That appointment then is handed to a salesperson. The salesperson goes out and demos it, does their sales presentation. They get the customer, right? Then you order the materials, line up everything, and then you go out there and you do the work. You get paid, okay? Most companies stop right there. That's it. It's over. The smart companies say, no, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning, right? Because now, all right, we've proven to them that we're going to do what we say we're going to do. But what most people do is they just leave. They don't even say thank you. Now, I believe in appreciation. Appreciation is a powerful marketing strategy. And by the way, there's a great book called Influence by Robert Cialdini. And one of the things that, one of the great drivers of influence with somebody is called the law of reciprocity. So I do something for you, now you feel obligated to do something for me. And so appreciation, aside from it being a powerful marketing strategy and powerful psychologically, it's also the right thing to do. So these people just spent $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 with you. Why don't you show them a little appreciation? Say thank you. I believe in sending something physical to their home, whether it's a box, and this is one of the things that we do for our clients. I'm showing you, here's how we do it, right? Just, look, just use this as demonstration, okay? You don't have to do it with me. Copy it, rip me off. It's fine, okay? You don't have to use me to do it, but learn from what we're doing. So what we do for our clients is we send out a package, right? And we like to send cookies, right? We like to send cookies. It's just, I've just found we've been doing this for 12 years. We did it before in our home improvement companies. Food, and particularly, we use little chocolate chip cookies. People love that stuff, right? But think about this. So you're your customer. It's a week after the job has been completed. You're already out of sight, out of mind. They've already forgotten about you. But now all of a sudden this package shows up on their doorstep and they open it up and it's like this big thank you package from you, from the owner of the company, saying, thank you, we appreciate you. How do you think that's going to make them feel? How would it make you feel? When was the last time you got even a little thank you note from somebody that you gave your money to, let alone gotten a package, gotten a gift? It's very rare today. And so one of the most effective things that you could do as a marketer is stand out from everybody else. Because make no mistake, today in this environment, you're not competing against other contractors. That's once you get the job, that's easy, okay? Because most of them suck. You all know that. What you're competing against is every other company they're ever going to do business with or have done business with. So if they've gone and they've stayed at a Ritz-Carlton and they remember that, or they've gone to Disney and they remember that, you want to be up in their, you want to be like those companies. You want to be remembered, because left on their own, they will forget about you. Okay, they will forget about you. Okay. Here's what, by the way, here's what one of my clients has to say about this and the importance of this. And by the way, Charlie was actually our very first client at G4. I've known Charlie. I knew Charlie years before that, but he runs one of the most successful home improvement companies in the country out of California. But listen to how he thinks about appreciation, okay?
5-star rating, we added 16 reviews. And we also send every customer a G4 thank you package. We think this is an integral part of the overall customer experience. Someone asked me last week, a prospective G4 customer called me and said, how do you measure your return on investment from G4? And then sending out the cookies and the thank you packages and follow-up emails. And I said to them, well, I look at this program as being as integral to what we do as putting screws in the windows that we install. I mean, I'm not going to install windows without screws, right? Wouldn't stay in place too long. If I don't thank my customer and maintain a relationship with them, they're not going to be my customer very long.
Right. Now, again, that's not about me. Okay. That's about him. Whether I do it, you do it, somebody else does it, it doesn't matter, right? It just needs to be done. But notice what he said. It's not a marketing expense, although, you could classify it as that. He sees it as a cost of goods sold, right? Cost of goods sold. It's like a screw, right? In his business, or caulking in his business, right? So ultimately, when we look at what is the best business strategy of all, it is having a raving fan. It is having that customer relationship. So once we've said thank you, that's pillar number one. So once we've said thank you, now what we've got to do next is we've got to get a 5-star review where it matters. Now, why I say that is because right now, the number one place, if you want to make more money, is you have to drive reviews to Google, okay? And what people are looking for when they go and look at reviews is they're looking for recency, they're looking for frequency, and they're looking for quality. So quality is obvious. Quality is, are you 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars? The ideal range, by the way, that we have found is 4.6 to 4.8. Anything lower than that, you're missing out on opportunities. Higher than that, great. But if you're in that 4.6 to 4.8, great. They're looking for frequency, meaning how many do you have? Do you have more than your competition? You should strive to have more than your competition. And then recency. So they don't want to see something from a month ago or 2 months ago. They want to see a review from like yesterday. And so your job is, when it comes to reviews, is to make sure you're doing everything that you can to drive reviews every single day in your business. And what it'll do for you is it'll drive more low-cost organic leads to your business. It's going to make your PPC, pay per click, much more effective. It's going to support your other marketing efforts, and it's going to help make closing sales easier. Okay. Now, we take this very seriously. And again, we do it for our clients. And so what we do is we actually use mail, we use email, we use texting. We also show our clients, we teach our clients what we call the 90-second review. How do you get a 5-star Google review in 90 seconds or less, right? But you got to take this seriously. You can't just hope that somebody, you can't passively wait and hope that somebody is going to leave you a review. You've got to work for it, and you've got to make it easy for them to be able to do it, right? You have to make it easy for them. If they have to go looking for how to leave you a review, you've lost. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. By the way, here's an interesting statistic. We polled, we have thousands, we do thousands and thousands and thousands of customers month in and month out. And so what we wanted to see, and we knew this because of the law of reciprocity, but we wanted to see, what are the real numbers? What are the real numbers of sending a gift and asking for reviews? What happens? Well, here's what we found. When we sent a gift versus no gift, we got a 350% increase in people leaving posted reviews. And we're looking, so to me, a posted review is Google. I want to see people going to Google, right? Because again, that's where the money is. Facebook would be number 2 if they don't have a Google account. Facebook would be number 2, and number 3 would be Better Business Bureau, believe it or not. And the only reason I say Facebook and Better Business Bureau, by the way, is because when somebody does a search for your company name and the word reviews, Facebook and Better Business Bureau typically will fall on that first page. And so you want to dominate that first page with reviews. You want your customers to be able, or prospects to be able to go and see reviews. Okay, so that's the second piece. Okay, so we've got appreciation, we've got reviews. The next piece is referrals. Now, 82% of Americans, now look, these are statistics, okay? They're numbers. We're putting numbers up on the board. But let's just say it's a significant number, and think about yourself. Say they seek recommendations from friends and family when considering a purchase. I just got a text this morning from a buddy of mine looking for a recommendation, right? He didn't go to the internet. He needed something for his business, and he came to me and said, hey, do you know somebody that does this? Right? So we know that this is going on, right? But in home improvement, I actually think that these numbers are much lower for home improvement, but these are statistics that I found. 83% of customers are willing to provide referrals, but only 29% of those customers do. Now, again, I believe in home improvement, these numbers are lower, but just go with these, okay? Why don't they refer more? Why don't they refer more? Well, here's why. 1, your customer experience was just okay. You're in business to create a satisfied customer. Okay. You did what you said you would do. The experience was okay. You did what you said you would do. But that's not likely to drive reviews and referrals. You didn't give them a good enough reason to refer. You didn't give them a story to tell. Again, let's think about Disney. Again, it was absolute master at this. Does it better than anybody else. Think about this. He gives everybody a story to tell. Everybody comes to Disney, goes home with a story. What story do your customers tell? What story do you want them to tell? Do you want them to tell a bad story, a tragic story, or do you want them to share an incredible story? Oh, you wouldn't believe how clean these people were. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe how professional they were. You wouldn't believe it. They actually showed up on time. They actually worked until the job was done, on and on and on. There are many ways to create a story that you want your customer to go and tell other people. Here's a big one. Why don't people get more referrals? You didn't ask. You didn't ask. You didn't stay in touch, which we're going to talk about next. And you didn't make them feel special and appreciated. One of the problems with referral programs in the home improvement industry is that they don't last very long. So we'll ask people, so do you have a referral program? They'll say, yeah. Almost everybody says yes. Yeah, we have a referral program. Great. Tell me about it. Well, if somebody refers us, we give them this. Okay, great. How do you tell them about it? Well, at the end of the job, we give them a brochure. We tell them about the referral program. And I say, okay, great. What do you do with that paperwork? Well, we put it in their job folder. Okay, great. What's next? And they look at me like deer in the headlights. What do you mean, what's next? Well, what do you do next week? What do you do next month? What do you do 6 months from now? What do you do a year from now? And it's like blank stares. It's nothing. A referral program done right doesn't last only a couple of days. A referral program done right has to last as long as you want to be in business. So if you've got a customer, you want to be in business for the next 5 years. So guess what? You need to be reminding them constantly about who you are, the services you provide, how to get a hold of you, that you're referable, and that you reward referrals and appreciate referrals. This is where most people don't do a good job, right? And this is why referral rates aren't anywhere near where they could be, where they should be, right? So again, to do this right, you got to take it seriously. So we use email, we use direct mail. We have a contest that we do for our clients every quarter, and we give something cool away. Why do we do? I ask people all the time, well, why are we doing a contest every quarter? Why do we do a contest every quarter? Why are we giving something away every quarter? It's simple. It gives us an excuse to show up and talk about referrals. That's it, plain and simple. Now, say that to all of you, but we don't say that obviously to the customer, but we take this seriously, right? You have to stay in touch and stay in front of them and give them reasons and remind them of why you are referable and why they should refer you. The other thing, very powerful strategy, by the way, is referral appreciation. So when somebody makes a referral, and this is another place where people just mess up big time when it comes to referrals, is somebody will call in, you're taking that inbound inquiry, and you'll ask them, well, how'd you hear about us? Oh, I heard about you from such and such. And the people that are taking that call will mark it as a referral. Well, but wait a minute. Why aren't we getting that? Who made the referral? I want to know who made the referral. Why? Because I want to send them a thank you. I want to make sure that I send them a reward, right? Now, for what we do, just to let you know, there's lots of ways to do it. The reason we do checks is just because it's simple for us to do it for 200 clients, right? But for you guys, you could do gift cards, you could do a gift, there's all kinds of things you could do, right? You can send them cash. There's all kinds of stuff, but it's not so much also about the money as it is about the gesture, right? Somebody's made a referral. You want to say, hey, thank you. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the trust and confidence that you've put in us. Okay. So that's the third pillar. So you've got appreciation, you've got reviews, you've got referral program. The final piece of this, the fourth pillar, is you have always got to be reminding your customers of who you are, all of the solutions you provide. I think a lot of you that are on this call right now, you don't only offer one product, you offer multiple products. So you've always got to be letting them know all of the different solutions you provide. And by the way, even if you only have one, you still have to do this. Okay. You still have to do this, because what are you looking for? You're looking for referrals, right? So if you only have one product and it's not a repeatable product, like roofing, I mean, it's like 50 or 60% of our clients sell roofing. Roofing is a one and done thing. Well, why would we send out a thank you and all of that? Because it's one and done. No, that's short-sighted, right? Because again, we have to build our business through referrals and through word of mouth. And so that's why we do it, okay? You have to remind them about the benefits of working with you and how to get a hold of you. And by the way, consistency here is critical, critically important. It has to start from job completion, and it's got to go on again as long as you want to be in business, right? So I believe that you have to be both in their physical mailbox, print, ink, stamp, mailbox, and you have to be in their email inbox. Okay, so we do for our clients, we do both. Now, to me, the number one way to stay in touch with customers is through your own company newsletter, through a company newsletter. It's a friendly, I don't have time to go over all of the reasons why a newsletter is so good, but I'll tell you a couple things. One, it's a friendly wrapper. Okay, it gets opened, it gets looked at. It's an opportunity for somebody to engage with your quote unquote brand 4 times a year from their mailbox. And we do a quarterly print newsletter, and we do a monthly email newsletter. But all of the content, by the way, is unique. Okay, we're not sending the same content. It's 16 unique pieces. But we do this. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the chat box. But this is how we do it for our clients. So if we're doing the print newsletter, we do them in January, April, July, and October. January, April, July, and October. Like right now, we're starting to work on the October newsletter. Okay, again, this is something we do for our clients. We make it easy. We have the Happy Home Gazette, and anyway. But this is something that you guys can do, either do it again, whether you do it yourself, somebody else does it, or I do it, doesn't matter, but you got to do it. This is something that you've got to do, because you can't afford to allow your customers to forget who you are, the services you provide, and how to get a hold of you. To me, I want to protect and defend my customers against the competition, because who is your competition's best prospect? It's your customer. Who are they going after every day on TV, on radio, canvassing, home shows, you name it, all of these things? What are they doing? They're going after your customers. And so what I want to do is I want to put an iron cage around, I want to put a fence around my customer. And that fence is the relationship, right? I don't want them going somewhere else. I want them coming back to me, right? And I would imagine you want the same. Now, when you are communicating with your customers, when you're staying in touch with your customers, you have to take a multi-channel approach. So I already talked about mail, got to do email. And if you can add phone to it, your results will go through the roof. Right now, let me be clear here about something. A lot of people say, well, yeah, we keep in touch with our customers. Okay. Tell me about that. What does that look like? Well, we call them. Okay, great. How often do you call them? It's all across the board. Some people call them every quarter. Some people call once a year. Some people call once every 3 years. Okay. But here's what most people do with that and why it's a mistake. So what most people do in their communications, whether it's on the phone or email or direct mail with their customers, is, hey, it's us again. It's Brian's, eShield company, and it's time for you to give us more money. Here's all the different ways that you can give us more money. Does that work? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. Usually, this happens when people are desperate for leads, by the way, which is the worst way and the worst time that you can do it. Does it work? Yeah. What works better? What works better is starting the communication right when, continuing, I should say, that communication after the job is done. Starting off with saying, hey, thank you, we appreciate you, right? Then sending them your company newsletter. Then sending them an email that says, hey, I'm just checking in, want to make sure everything is okay. Let me know if you need anything, right? Now, another powerful thing here is when you couple the newsletter with the phone, it's a totally different conversation, right? Because now it's a more friendly conversation. It's not just jumping into, hey, it's time for you to give us more money. There's other things that can be talked about before you jump into, hey, give us more money. Now look, everything that we're doing here, make no mistake, everything that we're doing here is about, hey, it's time for you to give us more money. I'm just framing it in a way that works better than just saying it straight out. Okay. So here's some success tips for you. Commit resources, time, money, effort to customer relationships. Design and execute an amazing customer experience. Say thank you the right way. Get customer feedback. Drive them to leave reviews. Ask for referrals through your own referral rewards program. And please, oh, please, keep in touch with your customers. But again, do it in a friendly and engaging way. Okay. Now, if anybody's got any questions, just put them into either the chat box or into the Q&A box, and I will get to your questions. Now, some people ask, does this stuff actually work? Okay. Does this stuff work? And I'm going to tell you, of course, I'm going to tell you, yes, I have case study after case study after case study that shows how this works. All right. Now, you may be wondering, well, how do I actually make this happen in my business? Well, it's a good question. So, like I said, you can do it yourself. You could take what I've shown you here, take these parts and pieces, put them together and execute it yourself. It's a perfectly valid way to do it. Okay. Sometimes this is what I see, when people say, oh, well, yeah, we're going to do it in-house, we'll take care of it. And this is what ends up happening. Now, the other way to do this is to take a big shortcut, and go right to the end and say, okay, well, why don't you guys do it for me? Okay. So if that's you, and if you're interested in that, I'm going to put up a poll here in just a second. We make this happen for you. Now, what'd I do? What did I do? Oh, that's not it. That's not it. What did I do? Where did it go? There it is. Sorry. There we go. We're back. So, real quick, who this is not for. If Google reviews aren't important for your business, then you don't need this. If you do crappy work, obviously, you don't need this. You have other problems. If you don't plan on being in business for more than 5 years, you don't need this. And if you're only interested in new business, you don't need this. But Why does this keep, oh, let me launch the poll here. Maybe that's what the deal is. So if you'd like to learn more about working with us, there's no obligation, by the way, for anything with us. If you want to have a chat with one of my guys, with either Pete or Dustin, just fill out the poll here and just answer the poll. I'm going to leave this up here in a minute, or for a minute. And what we do is we do just a quick 10-minute discovery call. That's all we do. And oh, we've got some G4 clients here already. Okay, I'm looking at the poll. I'm going to leave this up for a minute. Only a few of you have filled it out. Please go ahead and do that. No, I'll close it down. But so we make this really, oh, I know what's going on. Okay. We make this super easy for you guys. So if you are interested in learning more, you'll get on a 10-minute call with one of my guys, and we'll see if we can help. If we can help, then they'll show you more. Obviously, that'll take a little bit longer. Then if you say, okay, this is something that you're interested in, you'll meet with our onboarding team. That'll take about 30 minutes. We do all the design, the system setup, and you just approve it. We tie into your CRM system, we pull the data, and we deliver. We make this super easy for you. So once it's set up, I mean, really, you need to meet with us, maybe once a quarter for 15 minutes or half an hour just to see how things are going. But all of this stuff is happening for you in the background. Valerie, is the poll still up?
It is.
It is. Okay. I'm going to shut it down here, but only a few of you have marked the poll. All right, I'm going to end that. We will go back up here and close that out. So this is how we do that for you. Fast, easy, and affordable. We pull the data, goes into our CRM, and we execute on everything for you. A lot of people ask, well, how do you pay for this? Well, first off, if we do it for you, you are benefiting from scale because, like I said, we do this for about 200 clients. So if we were to build all of this for you, you're looking at an investment of $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. But obviously, again, because we're doing it, because you go into our system, it's a fraction of that. But how do you pay for it? Well, it's simple. Take 5% of your marketing budget, 10%, not even, you don't even need more than that. Take 10% of your marketing budget and direct it towards this. Again, whether you do it yourself, somebody else does it, or I do it, just take a little piece of your marketing budget and use it for this. That still leaves you 90 to 95% of your marketing budget for front-end lead generation. Okay. Still leaves you 90 to 95%, right? So that's how you do it. I always say, stop constantly chasing after new customers if you're neglecting your old ones, right? So anyway, that is us. We do have a couple of bonuses available for you guys because you are through Pro Material Direct. We will give you a discount on your setup fee. This is really powerful. We will load past customers into our platform, and we will drive them to a reactivation program. Basically, what this means is we will send out emails on your behalf, proven emails that we've used in the past, we use every day, to reactivate those customers, basically, and to get you leads from your past customers. And then we will put those customers into monthly communications, ongoing communications with your new company newsletter electronically. And then you'll also get access to our online training, exclusive online training, which people pay upwards of $1,500 to attend live and in person. You'll get a recording of that. It's called Your Ultimate Customer Experience Workshop, and you'll get that as a bonus as well. So Valerie, I don't see any questions. I'm still talking because I don't see any questions. I'll give you all a minute or two here. Let's put in, Valerie, can you put this link in the chat box to everyone so that they know where to go to, raise their hand and say, hey, I am interested in learning more. Those of you that answered the poll will reach out to you and provide you with more information or the discovery call. All right. So there it is. It's in the Valerie, you gotta do it for, there you go, for everyone. All right. So there you go. It's in the chat box. Wow, look at that. We finished right on time with 1 minute to spare. I hope this was of value to all of you. Again, look, things are good right now. Take advantage of it. This is an enormous opportunity for most companies that just really isn't being tapped. And again, at the end of the day, whether I do it, you do it, or somebody else does it for you, that's okay with me if you don't use me. But this is something you've got to do. If you want to make more money in your business, if you want to be around for the long haul, you've got to have a relationship with those customers, right? Otherwise, like Charlie says, they aren't going to be your customer. They're going to be somebody else's. All right, so I don't see any questions. So we will end this right on time, right at 12 noon. And thank you all for being here. Again, I hope this was of value to all of you. I'm sure you will let the team at Pro Materials know whether it was or it wasn't. And I appreciate any feedback that you have for me as well. Yep, thanks, Stacy. All right, you all. Thank you very much. And we will hopefully talk with you all again soon. Bye-bye.